So, Michael,
What?
it's the first time you're at Transformers Con.
Yes.
What's your impression? You walked around the dealer room for a minute. What's on your mind?
Making big bucks here.
But this is the first time in Canada or first time in Toronto?
No, I've been in, you may not love this story. I did the Alan Thicke show years ago when Alan Thicke was here. And as a guest. And then I used to work, do commercials for Molson Golden Beer. I used to come out, and Griffith Gibson used to have me come out. We used to play a lot. In 1 year, I came out, and I visited Vancouver after that, because I absolutely loved Vancouver. I thought it was absolutely gorgeous. And I visited it. And then I came out another year later to do another Griffith Gibson commercial. And when I got to the airport, it was totally different than it is now. I got to the airport, and they said, what are you here for? I said, I'm here to do a job. And they said, what kind of job? I said, it's a voiceover, a bunch of voiceovers for radio spots for Molson Golden. And they said, well, do you have a contract? And I said, well, yeah, I'm not looking for work. I have a job here. But you don't get a contract at first. When you go on a job for a voiceover, they may wind up doing other spots, so they don't write a contract for you. When you get there, you sign the contract. So if it's 3 or 4 spots, and they wind up being 9 spots, so they don't want to have to set up a contract in advance. They said, who are these people? And I told them, so they called them. And they said, did you have a bond for Mr. Bell? They said, we've never had to bother with a bond because he's here. We bond after the fact. They said, no, he's not coming. So I sat in the immigration office, and everybody was staring at me and laughing and walking by, and I'm thinking, my temper threshold is very, very low, as my wife would testify to, when I think I'm being abused. And it didn't stop, and after about an hour and a half, they came over and said, well, I'm sorry, but we have enough talent here in Canada, we don't need anybody from California. So I said, were you afraid I was going to smuggle talent in? With that, a mounted police came over with a gun and escorted me to my plane and said, go home. So I got back to LA, and of course Griffith Gibson was beside themselves because they had a whole session lined up with another actor from Hollywood who had already arrived before me, Joni Gerber, in fact, who I told you about earlier. So they brought the whole session to LA, and we did it at Bell Sound. I had hired, unbeknownst to Griffith Gibson, an actor to pose as a mounted policeman. So while I was in the session with Joni on camera, he walked in, and he walked over to the director. He said, to Miles, the director, he said, is there a Micheal Bell here? And Miles is from Canada, looks up and said, yes. And he said, he's under arrest. And he said, what for? He said, he can't be recording here. And he said, what? What are you talking about? And he had a mounted police, and he came in and he took me out, and he pulled me out of the studio. And he said, and Miles is going, Michael! I'm going, Miles! Miles, I can't, Miles! And he took me out. And he's sitting there, God, he can't work in Canada, he can't work in LA. And the guy's wearing a mounted police, Canadian mounted police, what's he? And we came back with a big bottle of champagne, and I said, surprise!